Good afternoon and welcome back to another episode of The Longing, where today we will be continuing to read Moby Dick, and we are also going to turn back time a little bit. So, let's get started with Moby Dick. Read a book. Moby Dick. Chapter 77. The Great Heidelberg Tun. Now comes the bawling of the case. But to comprehend it aright, you must know something of the curious internal structure of the thing operated upon. Regarding the sperm whale's head as a solid oblong, you may, on an inclined plane, sideways divide it into two quoins. Quoin is not a Euclidean term. It belongs to the pure nautical mathematics. I know not that it has been defined before. A quoin is a solid which differs from a wedge in having its sharp end formed by the steep inclination of one side, instead of the mutual tapering of both sides. Whereof the lower is the bony structure, forming the cranium and jaws, and the upper an unctuous mass wholly free from bones, its broad forward end forming the expanded vertical apparent forehead of the whale. At the middle of the forehead, horizontally subdivide this upper quoin, and then you have two almost equal parts, which before were naturally divided by an internal wall of a thick tendinous substance. The lower subdivided part, called the junk, is one immense honeycomb of oil, formed by the crossing and recrossing into 10,000 infiltrated cells of tough elastic white fibres throughout its whole extent. The upper part, known as the case, may be regarded as the great Heidelberg Tun of the sperm whale. And as that famous great tierce is magically carved in front, so the whale's vast plated forehead forms innumerable strange devices for the emblematical adornment of his wondrous tun. Moreover, as that of Heidelberg was always replenished with the most excellent of the wines of the Rhenish valleys, so the tun of the whale contains by far the most precious of all his oily vintages, namely, the highly prized spermaceti. In its absolutely pure, limpid, and odoriferous state. Nor is this precious substance found unalloyed in any other part of the creature. Though in life it remains perfectly fluid, yet upon exposure to the air, after death, it soon begins to concrete, sending forth beautiful crystalline shoots, as when the first thin, delicate ice is just forming in water. A large whale's case generally yields about 500 gallons of sperm, though from unavoidable circumstances, considerable of it is spilled, leaks and dribbles away, or is otherwise irrevocably lost in the ticklish business of securing what you can. I know not with what fine and costly material the Heidelberg Tun was coated within, but in superlative richness that coating could not possibly have compared with the silken pearl-coloured membrane, like the lining of a fine pelisse, forming the inner surface of the sperm whale's case. It will have been seen that the Heidelberg Tun of the sperm whale embraces the entire length of the entire top of the head, and since, as has been elsewhere set forth, the head embraces 1/3 of the whole length of the creature, then setting that length down at 80 feet for a good-sized whale, you have more than 26 feet for the depth of the tun, when it is lengthwise hoisted up and down against the ship's side. As in decapitating the whale, the operator's instrument is brought close to the spot where an entrance is subsequently forced into the spermaceti magazine. He has, therefore, to be uncommonly heedful, lest a careless, untimely stroke should invade the sanctuary and wastingly let out its invaluable contents. It is this decapitated end of the head, also, which is at last elevated out of the water and retained in that position by the enormous cutting tackles, whose hempen combinations on one side make quite a wilderness of ropes in that quarter. Thus much being said, attend now, I pray you, to that marvellous and, in this particular instance, almost fatal operation whereby the sperm whale's great Heidelberg ton is tapped. And with that, we're going to finish reading Moby Dick for the day, because the next one is 10 pages long, which is enough for a full episode. So we're going to leave that for the next one. And today, and right now, we're going to reverse time by as many days as we can by creating a blue fire and reading books backwards. Not Moby Dick, because I don't want to lose my spot. Right. So, let's give ourselves a little bit more time. Make a fire, make a blue fire out of lapis lazuli. And let's skim through Thus Spoke Zarathustra backwards very quickly as we regain lost time and forestall the wakening of the king. I think I'm going to take it back to about 36 days, roughly. Maybe 35 or 34, but we'll see where we end up stopping when we run out of time to do this reversal. I think we're about to start going forward again any second now. Any moment. There we go. Time to set the blue fire going again. We are regaining our time. Oh, that reminds me, I do need to go and have a look at the, I think it was a green crystal at the waterfalls. See if I can figure out how to acquire that. Which I think appeared after the, at the day of our birthday. Which I think was day 30, when it ticked over from day 35 to day 34, I think. So at some point we will have to go and do that, though I may try that after we finished Moby Dick. Listen to the crackle of the fire as we regain our time. We seem to not be able to reverse time anymore. My guess is that there is a limit to how much you can actually reverse time. Each day? Maybe? I guess we'll find out. Either way, I'm going to set it back to not going down by about 16 seconds. It always takes so long. Time is progressing slow and steady, and that has actually amazingly taken us almost exactly up to the end of the episode, so I am going to say thank you very much for joining. I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, or night, no matter what time of day it is. I hope you have a wonderful one of it. And as always, we will be back tomorrow for more of The Longing and more of Moby Dick. So, thank you very much, and goodbye.